when coffee chat is over. Oh,
what up, fam?
Hey, everybody.
Happy Sunday. Cheers.
Happy Sunday, fun day.
Oh, no. Yours is now in the way of mine.
Oh, no.
There we go. Ah!
Okay. You want to jump right into it?
First, we got to talk about keto brains.
Keto brains. As always, I got to learn how to speak. I have had my coffee in keto brains this morning. I was thinking about making more, but I got to save my coffee for my evening concoction.
Oh, Bronson has a new favorite nightcap.
It's not just a nightcap, but I have been doing it more in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's decaf. But I might do one daytime today because I'm feeling it's a little sweet treat, kind of. It's kind of like a dessert almost.
It's a latte.
It's like a latte. But it's basically just coffee with 2 or 3 scoops of keto brains. And to top it off, to get that latte mocha, the salt of the earth chocolate electrolyte powder. I don't know what it is about the Salt of the Earth brand, but of all of the chocolate flavors out there,
it's the best.
It is by far, it's rich, it's creamy, it's not too sweet, it's not too chemically flavored.
It tastes just like a hot chocolate.
Chocolate, tastes like Nestle's cocoa mix. It tastes like, it's amazing.
You know what it is? I know what it is.
What?
It's the allulose.
They use allulose in it? Okay.
They are the only ones
allulose. It has allulose.
that uses allulose, and it changes everything. What I'm telling you.
Yeah. Strong coffee. I like strong coffee. Strong coffee, 2 or 3 scoops of keto brains, and salt of the earth chocolate electrolytes. Iced coffee. I got to make that clear. Over ice, not hot shot. Now, I'm sure it's great hot.
I did it hot the other night. I actually made one with decaf, half a packet.
Okay.
Of it, and I think I put some nut pods in there.
Gotcha. Instead of keto brains?
I may have done a little keto brains.
Okay.
I think I did a little keto brains, not as much as you do, and I did a couple of tablespoons of nut pods.
I've been doing it as an iced coffee, guys.
So if y'all are not familiar with Salt of the Earth, it's drinksote, SOTE.com. I have a code. And they actually just sent us, because they reached out.
We got like 7 boxes, 8 boxes.
We got 2 of every flavor, the 12 count boxes. Right now, they're actually doing a special. If you buy 7, you get 7 free. Maybe that's why they sent us double. I don't know. Either that or it was a mistake. So I need to double check and see if my code is different, because I signed up to get that.
Gotcha.
But I did have a code previously, or a link. So check it out on my Instagram, my YouTube description. I don't think you have it in yours.
I have your links. In
my Coach Nat's favorites. Yeah. So I should have it from there. So check that out.
And as far as Keto Brain goes, as always, if you are engaged, if you ask questions, if you hang out till the end, we pick a winner each week for a free bag of Keto Brains, which, if you don't know what that is, it is an MCT nootropic coffee creamer that is the bomb.
So yummy. Coconut-based.
Coconut-based MCT.
And we have a code. Keto Rehab.
Keto Rehab.
For 20% off.
Okay. Oh, and in case you're not noticing, I'm not wearing my normal weekly Coach shirt. I have a new brand. I guess it's technically a new brand. I started a new group on Facebook, Gen X Performance, for those Gen Xers like moi who want to perform better, not wake up every morning feeling like crap, and crush those youngins out there.
And you know what's funny?
What?
Look what I wore today.
Older than Google, stronger than Wi-Fi. Yep.
My old lady gains. I love that brand.
So you're not technically Gen X, but you're close.
I'm close. I'm an Xennial.
Xennial.
What they called
an older millennial. You're an older millennial.
The latchkey kids.
No, we were latchkey kids.
We were latchkey.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Early.
Well, you're the last.
Well, you were late 70s. I was early 80s.
No, I was early 70s. 72.
I always forget.
Early 70s, baby.
Gen X.
Yes.
I am on the cusp.
Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, on the cusp.
Maybe
of
even
Gen
technically
X
on
and
the first
millennials.
half. But yeah. Okay, so today we are going to be talking.
Are the shirts available for purchase?
Yes, if you go to my website, coachbronson.com, I have an apparel option in the menu. You can go there. I got a bunch of other designs too. Bacon fat is where it's at. Team protein, antithetic. There's a handful. Training hard makes living easy.
I love those.
There's a handful of fitness is freedom. So go check out the website, coachbronson.com, apparel. There's a bunch of stuff on there. We're following up last week's discussion. We're following up all of every carnivore and keto influencers content over the past three weeks.
It's constant right now.
Because we obviously our feeds have been inundated. The response to our video last week, it's just what everybody's talking about.
Questions, yeah.
And there's a theme that we wanted to discuss with you guys that has nothing to do with macros. As always, we have to address some mindset things when it comes to the process of improving your life and reaching another level. And that is kind of what this is about. There is a lot of things that we're seeing in the conversation about what's better that we feel like we need to highlight. The first of them is the mindset. And I'm going to reference one of my, if I ever got a chance to meet people in person, this guy would be probably at the top 5. And that's Gary Vee.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you guys don't know who Gary Vee is, go
Gary
check him out.
Vaynerchuk.
Of all of the people out there creating content, the mindset and the outlook that this guy has, I think it's at the top of the list.
And it's very no bullshit.
No, not just no bullshit, but his empathy and compassion and his willingness to meet people where they are, but also tell the hard truth and just say things like it is. And like, I understand where you may be, but this is how things actually are. And
Yeah.
you can either realize it or whatever, but you know, like, I feel like
a lot of harsh truths.
There's a lot of similarities in how we approach things, the way that he does. But one of the things that he talks about.
Hey, Kelly's on. What up, Kelly Hogan?
Hey, Kelly. One of the things that he talks about that I think is really important for everybody to understand, and that is the concept of and, not or. Right? In many scenarios and the way that many people approach life is it has to be this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we see people doing extremes, jumping from things to, I'm going low protein and high fat to low fat and high protein. There's nothing in the middle. And if we change our mindset from this or that to this and that, then every possibility opens up for you. The minute you exclude things, you limit your potential. And that's where some of this.
Funny, I haven't even mentioned this to you because it just came up to me in the car on the way back from church. Mm-hmm. I was like, I got it. We did kind of touch on why keto and carnivore are so much easier for a lot of people who struggle with the food addiction side of things, the sugar addiction, the difficulty, I'm an abstainer, not a moderator, right? When you have a this or that, or when you have a this that cuts out all of that, it can be easier to get on board because there's all of a sudden a non-negotiable. There's a can't.
Right.
I can't even think about that. That's not an option. That, I figured it out. This is what dawned on me on the way back from church. You don't want to be the one to be responsible for the choice of not having it. Let me tell you where this came from.
Yeah.
I'm walking around Mom's Organic Market, and they have all kinds of very healthy, clean treat foods, yummy snack foods. And I was hungry, and I'm walking around after church. I bought a couple.
Don't shop while you're hungry.
I bought a couple, which are really awesome new finds, because I study these anything in a package. I study it deeply before I will ever spend my money on it and bring it into my home. I want to know all the ingredients. I'm not just looking, like we were talking about. It's not all about the macros. I look at, okay, first I look at the ingredients. What's in it? Secondly is when I look at the macros and the breakdown of the macros, not just the carb count, but the fiber and the sugar, and is there any added sugar and all that, right? All that to say, I walked around, there were a couple of things, cacao butter wafers, which I haven't bought in a long time, that were on sale, and shredded coconut, that was also on sale, that I've also been thinking about buying as I'm thinking about the holidays and making things. And I keep choosing not to buy the shredded coconut, mainly because I'm like, gosh, that's a lot of fat and carbs that come with it without any protein. While it is a whole food, while there is absolutely zero other ingredients added to the one I would buy, it's just coconut. It's so extraneous. It's just extra. It's like, if I do that, even a small amount of that is just going to add so much extra fat, extra carbs that I don't need. I have no need for it. And just because it's tasty and enjoyable. So do I really want it in my home? Do I want a whole huge bag, even though it's only $3? It's cheap, it's clean, but do I really want that in my house?
Right.
And sometimes I make the decision to buy something and have it in the house. I bought a bag of Brazil nuts a few weeks ago. I want to start increasing my selenium and from natural, real whole food sources. So I bought a bag of Brazil nuts. I'm not worried about ODing on Brazil nuts. And I haven't. I eat 1 or 2 a day. And some days I don't eat them at all. And they're in the cupboard and it's not an issue. But I chose not to bring in the coconut because I was like, well, that's something that's more enjoyable to me that I would then be battling with on a more regular basis about, oh, maybe I'll just add some to this and add some to that. And the next thing you know, it's like too much. I no longer am in a place. I think I said this to you the other day. If I can do it, anyone can do it. If I can go from being an abstainer to a moderator, anyone can do it. Because I was deeply in bulimia where I believed I could not control myself around foods. And I did not bring things into the house. And then one day I started going out and buying binge food and making myself sick. So the concept of, I'm so passionate about this. Just following a diet that says, no, you can't have, is not enough to save you. The diet can do a lot. Physiologically, it can do a lot for you. Will it very quickly remove physiological cravings for sugar if you don't put anything sweet in your mouth? In 4 days, not putting anything sweet in your mouth at all can make a profound impact on your physiological cravings. But it is not going to change your mentality and relationship with food all on its own just from cutting foods out. So I see that a lot of people are saying, I don't trust myself. I can't trust myself. I can't make the decision. I can't moderate. I will not choose to not eat it if it's in the house because I can't. There's all this can't. I'm an addict. I will never be able to. Right.
And granted, that's fine initially, and that's fine. There is a phase, and this can be a confusing conversation because on one hand we're saying you shouldn't be living your life in a if that, if this, if or this or that.
Either or.
It should be a this and. At the same time, there can be a phase where either or is where you need to be. But that's for you where it works for you. And we're kind of talking about two different things. There's what you need in your life to get you to the next level, which you may need a this or. And then there's how you're perceiving what other people are doing and letting that affect you. and trying to make decisions based on what other people are doing. And there is no this or when it comes to what anybody else is doing. Nobody else's decisions about what they're doing with your life has any impact on you. And if they want to include something, great. That's absolutely fine. It does not impact your life and your decisions. I had somebody message me. I'm going to read this message.
Wait, before we get into that,
Yep.
there's a comment here I want to address.
Okay.
Julia, certain foods I can't control myself, so they don't come home with me. I want to offer something to you here.
And I'm going to add to what you're about to say because I know exactly what you're about to say.
Like I said, that coconut did not come home with me. Is it because I can't control myself around coconut? No. No. You have to remove that word from your language.
2 words.
Can't. I can't control myself. That is not helpful. That is not liberating. That is restrictive. That is, and I always like to say, restriction, there is no diet that is restrictive. Restriction is a mindset. Restriction is in the mind. This belief that I can't will continue to perpetuate itself. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You're not taking any responsibility for your actions.
Yes, if I always believe that I can't control myself, I will never control myself around those foods. Now, does that mean that you need to be buying the thing that you currently believe you can't control just to test yourself to try to do that when you're not there? No, but you need to work on this first.
Yeah, I would say replace can't with won't. Right? It's not that you can't.
Or choose to.
You absolutely have the ability to not eat something.
Yes.
You repeatedly choose to eat it.
And that's the distinction.
It's a choice. If I have this, I won't not eat it. If I have this, I will choose to eat it. Change the words and you take ownership.
And that will shift shift
how you're approaching it. And I'm going to add to what you just said. You do not have to claim addiction for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Of all of the things that I see people struggle with in their journey, it is the idea that you are always an addict. If I were to claim that, then I would still be eating French fries every day. And every day, it would be a struggle for me to choose to not. Every day, I would be going to work thinking, do I stop at the pad thai store and restaurant and get pad thai for lunch today or not? Every day, I have to remake the decision to do something for my benefit and my health because I'm claiming an addiction.
Yep.
If you want to change your identity,
stop
claiming the identity you're trying to get rid of.
Would you say, I can't buy cigarettes because I am a smoker?
Right.
And I will, and I can't help myself when cigarettes are around. Will that help you stop smoking?
Right. Or do you say, I am a non-smoker. I don't need to buy cigarettes. I have no desire to buy cigarettes. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. Period. There's not even a question of, do I want to go get something? No, because I'm not a smoker. Just like we've used this scenario. I'm not a thief. If I'm walking down through the mall and I see a purse on the floor, I'm not going to pick it up, throw it in a bag, and keep walking. I'm going to look for the owner. If I see somebody drop their wallet, I'm going to pick it up and give it to them. Because I'm not a thief. If I was a thief and I was trying to rehabilitate myself, then when that person dropped their wallet, I would have a second, I'd be like, what do I do here? I have to make the decision in the moment. If my identity is not that one of a thief, then the idea of even keeping it doesn't even cross my mind.
So the question becomes, who do you want to be?
Who do you want to be? How do you define who you are as an individual will determine the actions that you take, right? So for all you people who are claiming addiction, that's why you're having struggles still.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a right. I always like to say it's not liberating, right? It's keeping you stuck in the I can't, I'm not safe, I don't trust myself. You're never building that self-trust. Now, as you said, and I believe wholeheartedly, when you are in the midst of the addiction is not the time to try to moderate. It's not the time to buy all the things and then test yourself and fail every single day. Right?
Yeah.
That you're fooling yourself to think you can do that at that point in time.
Yeah.
So there's reality to accept that's happening,
yeah.
right? While you're shifting your mindset around it.
Yep.
But saying I can't buy it because I can't control myself, that's one of the steps, shifting that belief system,
And
right? I could purchase this. And this was my mindset today, that was kind of like a fleeting thought, right? I didn't have to put a lot of effort into it. You do have to put a lot of effort into it at the beginning to shift that belief system and to shift your identity.
Yes.
I didn't put any thought into it today, but today the thought process was, well, if this is in the house, it's going to present an option to me. And I'd rather not have to use any brain space for
Which
that
is
at all.
fine.
So I'm going to choose not to have it.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't a self-defeating thought of, oh, I can't have that in the house, so I better not buy that.
Right. Well, that's like, I'm not an alcoholic. So why, I don't drink alcohol. I'm not even not an alcoholic. I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm not an alcohol drinker. So why would I even need alcohol in my house?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I like this. Julie says, how about I am stronger than the craving? Absolutely. Because it's unrealistic to expect that you will never again have a craving in your entire life.
Correct.
Especially if you think carnivore or keto is going to take away my cravings forever and I'm never going to experience that again. I'm never going to be tempted again. Everybody can tell you that's not the case.
And this is why we focus on mindset so much as coaches, because we know that anything that you do, nutrition, fitness, whatever, habits, it's only going to work for a period of time before your mindset becomes the limiting factor.
Whoever you believe you are, you will go back to being that.
Correct. Every single time.
And this is why we see people having success for a certain period of time.
And then
not.
And it's not the diet that failed them. It's not their workout program that failed them.
It's not the A1C.
It's not the program that failed them. It's not some metabolic marker that they got messed up. It's not hormones. It's their choices. It's their lifestyle.
And if you are swaying in the wind with every influencer's decision in their life, it is because of your mindset and your identity. It is not because of the diet. So if you're tempted to do what this person is doing, ask yourself why. Where's that coming from? Because it's up here.
Yeah.
I love this statement Kelly just made. I am a happy, healthy woman who loves eating meat and feels better eating this way. I am not an addict. I am a woman that makes great choices for her health.
There you go.
She says, I love this discussion.
That's it. I mean,
yes.
How do you want to live your life? Who do you want to be for yourself? And we can get into that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
What is your why and defining what you're doing for you.
And how to shift your identity. We could do a whole talk on that.
And to sum up the topic we just kind of talked about, it's abstinence isn't bad. It has its place. You can't live there. You live in a world that is full of all sorts of experiences. And it is much easier to prepare yourself to live in the world than it is to try and change or limit the world to fit you.
Yes.
Okay? Some of you are trying to change everything around you to make everything in the world perfect just for you and avoiding changing you. Okay? Change you, and whatever happens in the rest of the world doesn't mean squat.
You can handle anything.
Right? Because you are the one in control. Right? You can't fall off the wagon if you're the one driving.
Woo.
Okay? All right. So, let's get into what we really were talking about. No. Okay, so I got a message, and this is kind of, we were talking about doing this anyways, but then I got this message on social media the other day, and I wanted to read. I got a video from a follower on one of my platforms that was a video of an older woman in her 90s doing some workout in the gym, right? And the comment on the video was, what is your response to, apparently this woman was whole foods plant-based.
Okay.
What is your response to whole foods, plant-based, no salt, oil, or sugar people who are in their 90s and doing this well? I'm really curious. It's really convincing.
That says everything.
Right? What do you think my response was? What do you guys think my response was? Right? And I'm going to tell you, this message was specifically about whole foods, plant-based. It could have been about keto versus carnivore. It could have been about this person's adding carbs back in. It could have been about this person's doing lion diet. It could have been about this person's doing a sardine fast. This person's eating 3 pounds of butter every day. This person is doing 72-hour fast 3 times a month. Anything. It could have been any of them. Okay? Here's the response that I have that you guys need to start owning. Good for them. I know what works for me, and I don't need to change it.
That part.
Who cares? What is comparison?
The thief of joy.
The more you start looking at what other people are doing, the less focus you have on yourself. You cannot get better if you're looking at what everyone else is doing. It doesn't work that way.
You can look, and this is what you were saying about the whole make yourself strong. Don't try to make the world different around you. You can look at what anyone else is doing as much as you want if you are strong and confident in what you're doing, and what everybody else is doing doesn't rock you.
Right. In all of this
is just like what we were just saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you are weak in your position and you're doubting everything you're doing,
right,
and you're unsure and insecure about everything you're choosing for yourself, then anything else will convince you to go another way.
Yeah.
And then you have to protect yourself from anything else and any other opinions, and you can't look at anything. And then that, to me, is just as limiting when you're like, this is why we say people are always, surrounding themselves with just everyone that believes the same as they do. And that, a lot of the time, comes from this insecurity because they don't want to be exposed to anything else. Mm-hmm. I say if you can be exposed to all the other stuff and it doesn't sway you, you are a stronger individual.
Yeah.
The question is, why are you convinced that that's better than what you're doing?
What? Well,
what's convincing about it? Why are you second guessing?
Here's a question.
What you're doing?
There are people that we know in the space who have more education, more
Mm-hmm.
training, maybe even more experience than us, who are changing their direction and where they're going. Has it ever come across your mind in any of this turmoil and tumultuous time in the keto carnivore space? Has it ever crossed your mind to change what you're doing?
Nope.
No, not even a little bit.
We said that. We said that to each other the other day. We're
Not even
like,
a little bit.
this hasn't done anything for what we're doing.
Because here's the reason. Here's the thing. 2 things that this is the things you guys need to take home to help you solidify your position in the choices you've made. Okay? Why are you doing it? And what is the evidence that what you've done has worked for you so far?
Is it benefiting
right?
you?
If you know that going carnivore has completely changed your life and you are doing things you never thought you could possibly do before, why on earth would you second guess that? Because Zane Griggs comes out and says, oh my God, gluconeogenesis is going to cause your cortisol to go crazy. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. I added that last part. Right? Who gives a crap? You have completely improved and changed your life doing this. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing for the rest of your life, but the concepts, this is the second part. The concepts behind what got you where you are and what has improved your quality of life haven't changed. The idea that this is working, the concepts behind it working haven't changed, but because this influencer is spouting some scientific mumbo jumbo about why they changed, now all of a sudden I need to second guess my entire life picture?
And that's why I
doesn't make
say
sense.
the question you need to ask yourself is, why am I second guessing what I'm doing?
Right.
Why is this making me question what I'm doing? I love this. Kelly said she was talking
Kelly's on a
about-
roll. We should just invite her
I
in.
know, come on in. I was talking to my husband about people adding carbs. He said, do you need carbs?
Right.
Do you like how you look and feel? Do you need to change things up? He knows the answers. Then who cares?
Bingo. Tell that man to get a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we never get
Seriously.
to see the hubby.
I know, right? But that's the crux of this. And
Yeah.
that's why we titled this, It's Not the Carbs, right? It's not about the macros. It's not about the workouts. It's not about whole foods versus processed foods. It's about what is working, where are you trying to go, and what evidence do you have in your own life about what you need to do next. Stop looking at other people. I should say, stop making decisions based on what other people are doing.
That. Yeah.
Clarify that.
Yeah. You know who I've been watching his content lately that I haven't been, I mean, he's been on my radar, obviously, Dr. Westman. But I've just really been enjoying his doctor response videos lately.
Yeah.
And I just love the perspective he brings to things and the way that he breaks it down with so much common sense. It's like cutting through the noise. And he said something today that was like, I love that quote. And I wrote it down. Let's hope I remember it. He was talking about blood work and, people questioning long-term keto or carnivore based on a blood marker. And he was saying, he had a guy on there who's not a clinician, to his knowledge anyway, who's a researcher, your favorite thing.
Oh,
right?
God.
He's a researcher, he's not a clinician. And he was talking about the microbiome, which anybody who knows anything knows that we don't
really know much. We know
microbiome
more than we ever have, but we still don't know.
We haven't scratched the surface, right? So this guy being an expert on the microbiome and talking about how keto and carnivore are bad long-term because of the microbiome changes. This was the quote Dr. Westman said. Just because something changes something
doesn't mean it's bad.
Or makes things different, it doesn't mean change or different is worse.
Correct. Bingo.
So, and then the fact that all of the lab values, all of the normal lab values are based on a standard American diet, sick population.
Yep.
And so why are we applying those lab values to a population that's not doing that?
I see that in sports science research all the time. Everything about the evaluation of performance and efficiency is based on carb-fueled athletes. And the minute you switch somebody and you put in data that has to do with fat adaptation, the whole system falls apart.
Yep.
And everybody freaks out because none of the values come out the same.
Well, perfect example of this is ketones. You shouldn't have ketones in your urine. You shouldn't have ketones in your blood. If you're a carb eater, certain levels of that are going to signify ketoacidosis. Well, that's not going to be the case with anyone on a ketogenic diet.
Right.
it's like, it's kind of like a duh
There are
moment.
so many things that we evaluate based off of the societal norm. And at the same time, we know in our heads we're embracing something that's antithetical to the societal norm, but then we fall for using the same metrics. So it's like, I'm doing something completely different than everybody else, but I'm going to use the same measures and let it screw me up.
Right, where's the logic in that?
Right, if I'm doing something completely different, I've completely adapted my metabolism to function differently, then maybe all of the markers don't apply the same. Right now, we don't have any scientific evaluation. Nobody's done anything to my knowledge yet that says, here's how all of these markers change. I know there's been some videos and speculation about what they could be, but I haven't seen anything really come out that kind of shows that's, replicatable.
And on that point, I do want to say,
but we know it's not.
I understand why you would be concerned.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going to your doctor and your doctor is traditionally trained and your doctor's already pretty anti-keto, anti-red meat, anti-carnivore, anti-low carb. Like they're just still in that paradigm because that's all they know. That's all they've been taught.
Yep.
And the grand majority of medical doctors are not even familiar, let alone up on any of the newer science that is starting to come out, the literature that is coming out in support of these lifestyles. So I get it, of course. And look, I fell for it with my GYN and went back on birth control after 12 years off of it. And after a hellish 6 weeks,
you were like,
I was like,
done.
screw this.
Back to,
I'm not giving it 3 months like they're telling me to.
Yeah.
I can tell something is not right in my body.
And just so everyone's aware.
So I get it. I get why Dr. Kiltz got scared. Let's just be real about, he got scared by blood work.
Let's just be real too. There's the ketogenic diet is the most researched nutrition intervention there is. There has not been any other specific definition of a nutrition protocol that has been more researched than a ketogenic diet. The grand majority, by a long shot, of all of the research shows benefit to a myriad of different medical health and markers, right? Issues and markers, conditions, syndromes, dysfunctions, whatever. Most of that research, this blew me away when I did this. And I don't know if I've talked about this on here. In the last 20 years, over 50% of all of that research is 5 years old.
Wow.
Most of the research on the ketogenic diet has happened since
brand new
2020.
And groundbreaking.
Right? It is. No, it is.
I mean, it is.
Most of the research we have is within 5 years.
But we need to stop saying we don't have research.
Oh, we have the
that's
research.
the other thing, right? You hear that a lot.
Yeah, we
don't have the research.
It's just so new. Nobody knows about it. Nobody's going out there and looking for it and finding it.
Well, they're certainly not going to be taught in medical school.
And that's the other aspect. It's only 5 years old.
That's going to take another 25 years.
It's definitely not in any institutional education.
It's not in any
system.
Textbooks. No. Right, exactly.
No. There is one textbook that came out a couple of years ago, the ketogenic textbook that Professor Noakes and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So there is an actual 500
that's
page.
Pretty brand new.
But that's only 3 years old. Right? So it's there. And if anybody tells you we don't have the research, they likely just don't know about what's out there. There's more out there than I'm finding stuff every day. And there's new stuff. Just in the last 3 months, there's been like 6 new papers come out that are like, October 1st this year, the video I did on my channel over the weekend, on Friday, there was a brand new meta-analysis that came out that showed all the benefits in sports performance from a ketogenic diet.
Ooh, that's the one you just posted
150 studies, 9,000 participants, and it was like, oh, this, right? Keto doesn't hurt your performance in any way, shape, or form, right? 30 days old, 30-day study. Like, it's there, guys.
Wow.
But back to the mindset stuff. There's one statement that we talked about specifically on this whole carb thing, leaving carnivore, adding carbs back in, whatever. Mm-hmm. Which one do I want to do first? The discussion isn't really about
that first.
The discussion isn't really about carbs. We talked about one aspect of the mindset where the discussion isn't really about carbs. The crux, the central factor around this entire controversy is how an individual, you versus me, defines health and sustainability. What am I looking to do in my life, and what am I willing to do to sustain it?
Oof, there's a big one.
I may not be, and I have no desire.
Nobody ever talks about.
I have no desire for any plant foods. I am perfectly fine. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't get any benefit. They make me poop more. I have absolutely no desire. I am perfectly fine sustaining the nutrition routine habits that I have without including those. Mm-hmm. You always have something, most of the time, unless you're doing carnivore specifically, but you will add in avocados or some kind of sprout or sprout, like the little thingies you put on, don't you do? Not sprout. Maybe what's the word I'm looking for? The little green stuff you put on.
Herbs.
Herbs, not just, is it just herbs? I thought you did sprouts too.
No, it's like dill or parsley. No, not even parsley.
But it's usually fresh.
Yeah.
You do fresh stuff.
Well, no, it's not usually fresh. It's usually like in the spice cabinet, it's usually dry.
But what's that stuff you were just cutting the other day?
Dill.
Oh, okay.
Every blue
It wasn't
moon,
sprouts, it was dill.
Yeah, every blue
Anywho, it was
I'll
green.
Go get fresh.
It was green. That's all. If it's green, I don't know.
Well, and it's funny because I actually hadn't done that all summer because we have on our rooftop, they have, what do they call those? The gardens that you can cut.
You can go upstairs.
From.
Yeah.
They're like
herb gardens
herb
upstairs.
gardens, basically.
Yeah.
And usually last summer, I went up there and got my stuff, dill, rosemary, different things like that. Mm-hmm. But this year, those lantern bugs.
Oh, they were everywhere.
Were all over the place. And I didn't bother. I went up there one time and I saw 1 million lantern bugs. And I was freaked out because I didn't know what they were yet.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, get away. Get away. And then I never went back. So it wasn't until I went to Vegas and we had some avocado in Vegas at the house. And then I had a taste for avocado again, so I started buying that. So when I bought the avocado, I bought cilantro, and I started making tacos with avocado and cilantro. And that's when I got back into buying the fresh herbs. And now it's already gone because they don't stay.
Right.
And, I told you the story about the dill.
Right, because it was super cheap to buy the big thing
versus
the
dill, I just have to tell the story. I go to the organic section and they have like this massive bunch of dill and all the other organic herbs in the big bunches. And it was like $2, I think, for the big bunch. And I was like, I'm never going to use all of that. And I was like, okay, let's go get the little tiny ones. They have these little containers that are like this big. And it was a fraction of what that big bunch was. And it was $2.50. Yeah. And I'm like, really? I'm going to spend more for this tiny amount because I know I'm not going to use all that? I might as well just buy the big bunch and who cares if it goes bad? And sure enough, it went bad.
So the idea of sustainability and how we define what we like and what we want to do, individual preference is part of the equation.
And you know what, y'all? It's 100% a palate thing. 100%. That's all it is. I like different flavors. You use the same 2 spices on everything all the time, right? Slap your mama.
Or taco seasoning.
And now you got your new favorite, the taco seasoning.
Pork and good, taco seasoning.
And other than that, it'll be salt and garlic, right?
Right.
For me, I want different flavors. And that's,
she's got all kinds of stuff.
I've got a lot of different herbs.
You look like a witch sometimes, stirring your brew, putting all the different stuff in there.
So yeah, I'm not interested in living on beef, salt, and water.
Right.
That ain't going to happen.
But some people need to do that for health reasons, and they've gotten to where that's okay for them. And if they try to introduce anything, they automatically have issues.
Well, and this is where
so everyone's got a different definition.
This is where the definitions come in, because I love curry spices. I love my shawarma spices, but sometimes those bother me when I use too much of them. And then it's a choice where I decide that to pull back, even though I would like to taste it. It's like, if you're a person who loves cookies, but you know in no world is that cookie going to be healthy for you, you make the decision to pull back on the cookies or cut them out entirely. It's like, this is why I say, like, the diet doesn't save you, because boy, you could make carnivore cookies, you can make carnivore cake, you can make carnivore cream cheese, and I mean, I constantly see this out there. Carnivore cheesecake, carnivore this, carnivore that, and all it is you're recreating all the same garbage you were eating, but because it's carnivore, now you can eat all you want of it, and you're wondering why you're gaining weight. You're wondering why you're not making progress anymore. Because you took the same problems you had with the standard American diet and you applied it within the context of a carnivore diet, thinking all of this is free food.
Yeah, the label's not going to save you, guys. And then on that note, what we're kind of getting down to is, just because you can doesn't mean you should, and just because you don't doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Let's break that down.
Okay. If I've chosen to not eat carbs, that doesn't mean I can't.
Yes.
If I've chosen to eat carbs, that doesn't mean I shouldn't. Anybody's individual choice doesn't mean I have to. When we talk specifically about the whole carb discussion, they're not required, but they are an option if you want them. They exist. They're there. You have the choice, because it's your body, to do whatever you want. The only issue that I have, and I think that you have in this entire discussion, is the fact that people are trying to use science to justify their choices.
Instead of just owning it.
Just own it. I like carbs. I feel good eating carbs, so I'm going to eat carbs. End of discussion. We don't need to justify our choices.
Hey, you have French fries sometimes.
I had ice cream last night.
You don't get on here and explain why you had to eat ice cream to be a better athlete.
No, in fact, I woke up this morning and I had to take ibuprofen because I got a headache.
So you also
I already knew it.
Right.
I already knew it.
Right.
And I have to change, when I do have ice cream, I have to change how I drink my water. Because if I take water with the electrolytes I normally do, when I have ice cream, I get cramps because it throws off
my
electrolyte balance. So if I have ice cream, I have to drink plain water afterwards to maintain that balance. Right? So I know there are things I have to change if I make a choice to do something. But it's my choice. It's my body. I have to deal with it. No one else has to deal with it. And you have to deal with what's in your life, not what anybody else is doing. And if you're an influencer, if you're a coach, if you're making content out there and you decide to do something, I decided to do it. You don't have to justify why.
Yes. Yes.
And I can guarantee you, even if you do justify why, if you're using science as a reason for why you added carbs, I would advise against listening to those people. Because that's an issue for me. So,
look, I have no problem with somebody saying, hey, I read this study or I listened to this expert and it's got me wondering if this might be better for me. Even if it is wrong scientifically, even if it can be debunked, I have nothing wrong with it. I have no problem with somebody admitting that, saying that, hey, I haven't been feeling my best within my carnivore diet, and I tried this and I tried that, and this is what happened when I tried this, and this is what happened when I tried that. And now I'm hearing that maybe if I add blueberries, it'll improve XYZ.
Right.
So I'm going to try it. And I tried it, and then this is what happened with me. I have no problem with that.
But in order for that to happen, you have to be collecting data.
We talked about this last week.
We talked about this last week. It's not n equals 1 if you have no data. You cannot experiment based on feelings.
And I always like to point out to my clients, define what you mean by carbs.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to test out having higher carbs in your day, number one, I say, hey, you better identify what are your safe foods, meaning if you have any kind of autoimmune conditions or other conditions you're managing with this low carb lifestyle, don't just start adding a bunch of foods you haven't eaten without knowing how they're going to impact you while you're trying to test 60 grams of carbs instead of 30 grams of carbs.
I'm going to
take a carb you are already consuming. And if you haven't been eating any carbs, you need to test that carb source first before you start jacking up the numbers. But there is a difference, like we said, between macros and the food that the macros come in.
Yeah. Well,
and actually, and Aaron said it earlier when we were talking about the whole plant-based whole foods diet.
Mm-hmm.
There is a massive difference in the type of carbs you choose and where the carbs are coming from. And one thing I see people saying incorrectly all the time, and one of the reasons why I always harp on defining carbs is, if you're calling a donut is not a carb.
It's 10,000 carbs now.
A donut is a junk food, processed food that contains carbs and high fat and usually a bunch of chemical additives, unless you're talking about something
either way,
very specific. But this is not the definition of a carb. And a sweet potato is different from a blueberry. And we need to define our terms.
Well,
here.
this is, if you want to get specific about terms, if you're saying, I want to add carbs, I want to add carbs back for whatever reason, then here's my recommendation. If you're really talking about carbs, just go online, order some maltodextrin powder, and add a scoop a day. That is carbs.
Or cyclical dextrin.
Something that is literally just a carb. It is a form of powdered carbohydrate molecule. And that's it. That's carbs. If you're saying I want to add in a sweet potato, that's a sweet potato.
It contains
carbs, but it's a sweet potato. If you're saying you want to add in berries, that's berries. Okay? So understanding that a carbohydrate comes in food sources along with other things. That's where we have the whole conversation about oxalates and anti-nutrients and all of the other fiber. And we get into fructose versus.
Oh my gosh.
That's where the conversation gets wacky. But if you're really saying, and if you really want to define a carbohydrate, the purest form is going to be cyclic dextrin, maltodextrin, some kind of
pure table sugar.
Well, not even that, because that's got fructose in it too.
Right.
So, but something that is literally just a carbohydrate molecule that will convert to glucose in the blood, but isn't actually that. But yeah, I mean, if that's what you're really saying you want, then, and you want to be really specific and detailed in your experimentation, that's what you should add, not a food source.
Well, you know what else is a pure carbohydrate, but it's also 100% fiber?
What? Paper.
Any fiber supplement.
Right. Oh, true.
And there are different types of fibers that act differently in the body. So 2 different fiber supplements, you could take one that's soluble and one that's insoluble, and those are going to act differently in the body. But they're also carbohydrates.
Right.
But that's very different than dextrin or dextrose or maltodextrin.
Yeah.
So even then, when we're just talking about carbohydrate.
honestly,
there are different forms of that too.
yeah.
So clarifying
This is
terms,
this
people.
is an extreme case. But when I answered paper, I was being literal. Paper is a carbohydrate. It is purely cellulose fiber, just like a plant.
Grass would be as well.
Grass would be as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to add carbs in, go in your front lawn and start eating some grass, right? Pluck some dandelions and have a blast. Anywho,
Yeah.
that is our talk for today, guys. Basically, it's not about the carbs. It's about how you are perceiving your own goals, taking ownership of where you're going, and not looking at or making decisions based on anybody else.
Oh, I like this point that Kelly made too. I want to make sure we say this. Carnivores can add carbohydrates without adding any plant food.
This is a really good point. I like it. Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this last week when we were talking about
Kefir,
ways.
scallops, yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, liver, oysters, mussels, kidney. Yeah.
A lot of dairy. Yeah, a lot of dairy options there, like where you can get some pure...
eggs have carbs, milk, cheese, you can get carbs.
Should we tell people to watch out for their scallops? What did we discover this week?
Now, we didn't do any research. This is a little side note. Thanks for bringing this up, Kelly. We found out that there is potentially
fake scallops out there.
So we all know about meat paste and all the different things that they do to make meats that we think are fresh cuts, but they're actually Frankenstein cuts of other meats that they glue together with meat paste. But we found out the other day that there's something similar going on with scallops. And the recommendation was, if your scallops smell fishy, then they're probably not actual scallops and they're a meat paste product. I forget the name of the product, but they're basically not scallops, that they're fake. So,
and they're charging a pretty penny.
Anybody wants to look that up and let us know. But we just saw some information. We didn't dig into it too much, but just want to raise a flag on that potential thing being an issue.
One big glass of kefir with a dinner of mussels.
Yeah, right.
You can have a fairly carby meal if you think your body needs them. But that's just such a good point, right? Because is it that you think you need, if you are a carnivore and you've been swayed that you think you need to add carbs and you went carnivore for a purpose, particularly a health purpose.
Yep.
Not just because of the food noise or whatever, but like you actually have reactions to things and you have to be cautious. It probably wasn't the carbs. Then you absolutely can do that 100% with animal foods.
Yep.
To test it out. And if you really want it to be an N=1, then you need to document everything. Document what you're doing, track your food, track the macros of your food, write down what foods you added in and what amounts, and write down what happens.
Yep. Okay, we have a question for everybody. Do you want to ask?
What are we asking?
About this thing we were thinking about doing at the beginning of the year.
We want to ask them what to call it.
You want to explain it at all?
We're thinking about doing a challenge.
This whole controversy has kind of brought this idea to us. We're thinking about doing a 12-week program challenge. I guess we can call it a challenge.
Program, yeah.
At the beginning of the year. So we got a couple months. The idea was to help you guys work through the process of figuring out what will actually work for you. And the idea being 12 weeks of higher carb foods, maybe where some of you are at right now. And then a month of...
No.
It was a month.
We swapped it. Start with the elimination.
Start with the elimination. Right, my bad. We're going to start, so January is going to be lion diet.
So basically it's World Carnivore Month.
World Carnivore Month will be month 1. Then maybe more of a carnivore, ketovore-ish. And then month 3 would be
low carb.
Right? And the idea being, through that process, you can kick off the new year, number 1, right? With
That's why we swapped it, because he wanted to start with the
wanted to start with the low carb and then work our way down. But we'll start off the year.
But I was like, everybody's going to want to reset in January. So
we'll do a January reset, elimination, lion diet, carnivore month. And then we'll slowly bring things up so you can find what works for you. You may not make the full 12 weeks. You may get to the end of the lion diet month and be like, I am so happy right now. I'm going to keep doing this for a while. You may get to it and be like, oh my God, I can't do just meat and water anymore, right?
Like we
salt
did.
Days, whatever. We lasted like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. We made it 21 days online, and we were like, I want my coffee back.
Yeah, coffee and eggs. We weren't even doing eggs.
Yeah.
And then be like, I want something else. And then you add that back in and find. So you may find where your happy place is at week 8 or week 7 or week 12, right? And who knows? But the idea is, let's give ourselves 12 weeks and work through the process. We'll have regular meetings each week to talk about how you're doing.
N equals 1.
Start tracking.
We're
learn
gonna give
how to
you
pull information.
A tracking spreadsheet.
So we're thinking about doing this. Number 1, how many of you would be interested? And then number 2, we have no idea what we would even call it.
Yeah, don't know. So give us some ideas.
Give us some ideas. Let us know. Kelly, you should join us and come do it with us.
That would
be a blast. We already know where you'll end up. You'll be done with the first month and be like, okay, I'm good.
I got my guy. She's like, I don't need to do it.
I'm already here.
I already know. She's confident.
Exactly. So we want to help you find your confidence in the choice that you've made. Right? Maybe we call it the Confident Choices Challenge.
Ooh. Body confident.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we're talking about, right? All right. Who's been engaged? I haven't been looking at our stuff.
And then we have something coming up in month 4.
Oh, and we talk about that while I look at.
We have our event. So we are doing an intensive weekend event with us end of April, 23rd, 24th, 24th, 25th, something like that. Antithetic. Are we calling it antithetic this time?
Yeah, it is an antithetic event.
It's an antithetic event, but unlike a conference or a meetup, it is an intensive coaching experience where you get to come in and we dive deep into the things that are actually holding you back. So it will likely be more.
10 people, no more.
It's not likely going to be. It will be.
It's going to be a lot more.
Mindset, focus, and logistics.
It's going to be challenging.
But more of the logistics on the habit change piece than on the what to eat, what not to eat. We're not going to talk about yes and no food lists and all of that stuff.
Right. We have a lot of comments, no questions. No questions at all, I don't think.
No questions.
Everybody's chatting, though. I love how everybody's talking to each other. Do you have any questions?
Julie asked a question early on.
Juliana said salt of the earth also has calcium, which I did not realize.
I didn't realize that either. Let's see.
Juliana says, I can't versus I can't yet. I would challenge you to say, I can't versus I haven't yet.
Yeah.
If you're going to go that
Don't
direction.
Don't use can't at all. So Julie was asking early on, she asked a question. Now I can't find it, but then she...
Oh, she is the one on your side that asked the question.
Yep.
She's the only one that asked a question, so...
So Julie gets the bag.
Julie Staith. How do you pronounce your name, Julie?
I think it's Staith.
Staith, okay.
I could be wrong.
Correct me if hi to everybody on YouTube. Thank you for joining. Please make sure... Oh. Bubbles has rules. Girl, buy the big bunch and dehydrate the ones you don't use.
I don't have a dehydrator.
You can, and then Evelyn says you can hang it up to dry after you use the teaspoon fresh. We just need to get a spice rack.
I have dried, though. I don't want more dried. I mean, I could.
Instead of throwing it away.
I suppose I could.
Money bags.
You know, that whole extra $1 down the drain.
So I'm going to buy you a spice rack. I don't know where we're going to put it.
Ooh, that would be a fun Christmas gift.
To hang spices.
Yeah.
Where would we put one?
I don't know. We got wall space.
We do.
You know, I've always wanted forever,
FYI.
and I've never done it. All the time I've lived in condos and
outside?
apartments is to have a little place where I can grow my own herbs outside on the balcony.
You want to grow some herb, huh?
Herb.
Juliana says a Snickers is not a sweet potato.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
That's all. Yeah. So it looks like Julie. All right, Julie, shoot us a message. Send us your email at your shipping address, and we'll get you a bag.
Thanks, Kelly, for joining the conversation today. It was great to have you.
Absolutely. Thanks everybody else on YouTube and Instagram. We will see you guys next week. We have a coffee and chocolate event to go to on Saturday. So we will be here Sunday. We'll tell you all about our coffee and chocolate festival,
yes, indeed.
which should be fantastic.
I include chocolate on my ketovore journey because I enjoy it. Not because I need the magnesium.
Oh boy. Or the lead.